The plant is chicory, Cicorium intybus in Latin. You know the flower even if you do not know the name. Small, true blue, the color of an early morning sky, growing wild along roadsides from Georgia to Maine every summer. But the flower is not what we are working with today. Today we are working with the root. Dig up a second-year chicory plant in October and what you find underground will surprise you. A taproot that can reach 12 inches long, cream-colored, firm, dense, almost like a pale parsnip. Snap it and a white milky sap appears immediately. That sap has a distinctive bitter, earthy smell that is deeply familiar to anyone who has ever had New Orleans-style coffee. That bitterness is not a flaw. It is the medicine. The root concentrates everything the plant has spent 2 growing seasons building inulin, sesquiterpene lactones, flavonoids, stored underground specifically to survive winter. That is the same reason it survives in your tincture jar for years after harvest. God designed a plant that stores its own medicine underground, sealed away from frost, waiting to be found. That is not a coincidence. Concentrated preparations of chicory root, not teas, but strong extracts, appear in medical records going back further than almost any other plant preparation we have found. The Ebers Papyrus, written by Egyptian physicians around 1500 years before Christ, describes chicory preparations taken in concentrated form for what they called pain of the limbs, a deliberate extraction they understood through centuries of observation, that the root held something the flower and leaf did not, and that concentrating it produced a stronger result. Roman military physicians carried prepared chicory extract specifically for soldiers with joint inflammation from long marches through cold terrain. Aulus Cornelius Celsus, the Roman medical writer whose work survived the fall of the empire, documented chicory root preparations for swelling and pain in his encyclopedic work De Medicina, written around 25 years after the birth of Christ. When Benedictine monks preserved Roman medical knowledge through the Dark Ages, chicory preparations appeared consistently in their infirmary records. Concentrated root extractions made with wine as the solvent, because they understood intuitively that alcohol pulled compounds from plant material that water alone could not reach. They were making tinctures. They just did not call them that. That knowledge nearly disappeared after the Second World War, when pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories made plant preparations seem unnecessary. The roadside weed kept growing. The knowledge stopped being passed down. What those monks made with monastery wine, you are going to make this afternoon with a jar and a bottle of vodka. Here is why a tincture is more effective than a tea for chronic joint inflammation, and why the alcohol percentage matters more than most people realize. Chicory root's primary active compound for joint pain is lactucopicrin, a sesquiterpene lactone that acts as a natural SOX2 inhibitor. SOX2 is the enzyme that triggers the inflammatory cascade responsible for the pain, stiffness, and swelling in arthritic joints. Ibuprofen works by blocking that same enzyme. Lactucopicrin does the same thing without the gastric damage, kidney load, and cardiovascular risks associated with long-term NSAID use. Here is the critical detail. Lactucopicrin is not fully water-soluble. A tea extracts some of it, but not all of it. An alcohol extraction at the correct percentage pulls a complete compound profile from the root, including the lactones that hot water leaves behind. This is why the monks used wine. This is why the correct alcohol percentage is not optional. It is the mechanism. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry confirmed that ethanol extraction at 40 to 60% alcohol concentration produced significantly higher sesquiterpene lactone content than water extraction alone. 2,000 years of practice. One confirmation study, the same result. Everything I share here is meant to complement your medical care, not replace it. If you manage arthritis with prescription medication, speak with your doctor before adding a concentrated herbal tincture to your routine. If you already have chicory growing, wild or cultivated, you are ready for the harvest step. If you want to grow your own specifically for tincture use, plant seeds this fall in full sun, pour to average soil, pressing them just 1/4 inch deep. Leave them alone through winter. They will establish root through cold weather and emerge strong in spring. The root you want for tincture is a second-year root harvested in October after the above-ground plant has fully dried and died back. That root has spent 2 full seasons concentrating its medicinal compounds underground. That is the one worth making a tincture from. Here are the 5 steps. Follow them in order, and you will have a tincture that lasts 3 years and delivers a consistent, precise dose every time. This preparation follows the same principle the Benedictine monks called their root wine, alcohol as the solvent, time as the refiner. Step 1. Harvest. Dig your second year's chicory root in October after the plant has fully died back above ground. Use a garden fork, not a trowel. You can get the full taproot intact. Brush off loose soil, but do not wash yet. Step 2. Clean and chop. Rinse the root under cold water, scrubbing with a stiff brush. Pat dry completely. Moisture in the jar dilutes your alcohol percentage. Chop the root into pieces no larger than 1/4 inch. Smaller surface area means faster, more complete extraction. Step 3. Choose your alcohol. This is the step most people get wrong. You need food-grade alcohol between 40 and 60%, that is 80 to 120 proof in American labeling. Standard 80 proof vodka at 40% works perfectly for chicory root. Do not use rubbing alcohol. Do not use wine or beer. They are not strong enough to fully extract the lactones. Step 4. Fill and seal. Pack your chopped root loosely into a clean glass jar until it is 3/4 full. Pour vodka over the root until the jar is completely full and the root is submerged by at least 1 inch. Seal tightly, label with the date. Step 5. Macerate and strain. Store the sealed jar in a cool, dark location for a minimum of 4 weeks. 6 weeks produces a noticeably stronger result. Shake the jar gently every 2 to 3 days. After maceration, strain through cheesecloth into a clean, dark glass bottle, pressing the root material firmly to extract every drop. Discard the spent root. Dosage. Take 1 to 2 milliliters, approximately 30 to 40 drops, in a small glass of water 2 times daily. Morning and evening. Use consistently for a minimum of 3 weeks before evaluating results. Your tincture will keep its potency for up to 3 years stored in a cool, dark location. If you experience any digestive sensitivity in the first week, reduce to 1 dose daily and build up gradually.